live here at the Station of Decapitation Without Your Head. I'm Nasty Neil.
This is Annabelle Lecter.
And we're joined by Izzy Lee, the
Yeah.
co-writer, director of House of Ashes, which is going to be playing at Renegade Film Festival in February. It's a couple days after my birthday, so that's very exciting.
So you can all celebrate that as well.
Exactly.
Honor of Neil's birthday.
Exactly. So that's very exciting. We have the link everywhere on the website. People get your tickets in Atlanta. Have you been to Renegade before?
I have. It's been a couple of years. I believe I was last there in 2017 with Rights of Vengeance. And that was when they were at that resort, which had a movie theater built into it, which was really cool.
Yeah, Renegade's amazing film festival.
Awesome. Loved it.
And
for our audience, I was going to say, can you give them an idea about the film? Like your
what to expect, perhaps. It's a feminist thriller, which is about a grieving widow who's been previously suspected of her husband's death, got cleared, but is now under house arrest for the crime of having a miscarriage, because that's where we're headed, and that's where we've been a couple times actually already. And some not good things happen to her, both psychologically and perhaps supernaturally. And she can't leave her house because she has an ankle bracelet and a whole bunch of people breathing down her back. So how does she survive? You're going to have to find out. A House of Ashes.
I love it so much. I saw this and I was so happy because I really thought this was incredible. I love the idea of this person being stuck in this place and different male figures and how they affected her. We've got the husband, we've got the guy that is there, and then the dude who's like real shit. But it's a balance of the two living people. Guys are both pretty terrible. And I think just showing that there's a range of terrible, which I think is pretty important. So, and she was it was very well acted, beginning to end. I just thought it was great to look at the symbolism with the ashes and the supernatural kinds of things going on. Her visions, I just thought it was fantastic. So,
oh my God, thank you so much. That's really wonderful to hear. It's been a really strange week, so thank you.
You're very welcome.
So it's your feature directorial debut, and I know for a long time you wanted to make a feature film. So just the journey from that, and then finally you get the crowdfunding going. It gets funded like fairly quickly, and then making a feature film. What's this whole experience like?
Oh my God, it's been insane. The Kickstarter, we made 86% of it within the first, I think, 30 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. And that is a result, not of luck, which people like to tell me. It's because I've been on the festival circuit for more than a decade. So has to be worth something, all that.
Real quick with that, though. So that's going to be that's a lot of motivation. It's like confidence building that people support you. At the same time, is it also like, now I really have to make this and make everybody proud?
Well, I was going to make it either way. We did have some seed money. We just needed to augment it. We have a distributor in Insurgents who is rebranding from V Channels, and they gave us some money. I raised more, and then for post-production, we used some of our savings to finish. So it was always going to happen. It was just like, how much of the budget do we have to stretch here, there, or there? And it's always a good time when you have very little.
To adapt, did you end up adapting the script at all to have more? Or did you where was your starting point? Like with the hope that we'll get more and be able to do these things. And if we can't, then maybe we'll have to scale back. How do you balance that idea of where are you going to end up with money?
It's a hard question to answer because you have to look at how much things cost once you've written them, and then take them away if you're like, all right, well, this is a bad idea because we can't afford X, Y, or Z. And that is for features that have like at least a couple $100,000 to them. And you just have to figure out more creative ways to do what you want to instead. And sometimes that really means getting very creative, and it forces you to think in ways that you might not. So it's been a journey, no matter what. Like you'll never like I always hear filmmakers say, even making Hollywood films, which is insane to me. You never have enough time, you don't have enough budget, and so you do what you can to make it work.
With that kind of experience, I was going to say, how important is it to have that solid team of people, the film people that are actually doing the work with you, people in your professional life, in your personal life? How important is that to have those people to help you get through it? Like you said, this last week has been a week. That last week has been a week in many ways. Yay, 2025.
I know.
So at any rate, how important is that to be able to get there?
You can't do it without supportive people, a supportive cast or crew or spouse or, significant other or family. You can't. Unless you're independently wealthy, there's no fucking way. And even then you would have to do so many things on your own. So your cast, your crew, your village, it takes a village. It's everything. I could not pull this off without the people that I had beside me. There's just no way.
Have you been building these people in over time? Did you pull in a lot of new people?
It's a mix of both. I mean, I had never worked with Fina Sanchez or Vincent Stalba before, although I had met Vince on the festival circuit when he was touring with Blood of the Dinosaurs and I was touring with Meat Friend, and they often got programmed together. Yeah, so we met at Fantasia, and I was wowed by his performance in that because it was just the most wonderful, unsettling, creepy, And I had written the script with him in mind. Fina was harder to find because I needed somebody really, really special. And I was looking for somebody that could pull off nuance, terror, fear, anxiety, all sorts of little things going on when she's being gaslit. And that person was really, really hard to find. I wasn't going to make the movie unless I found somebody who could pull that off. And Fina was an absolute godsend. She got recommended to me from one of my co-producers, Kevin Sluter and Jen Sluter. They had seen her in a short that she had written and produced and starred in. I think it was called A Good Scream. And they said, like, hey, we think we might have found your Mia. And I'm like, well, send her on in because I'm talking to all sorts of people. And all right, tell me who the filmmaker is. Jack Bennett. Oh, I know Jack. I'll see if he'll send me a link. And I was like, oh yes, Jack, please hook me up with Fina. I want to talk to her very much. And the script resonated with her, and she nailed her audition. She nailed her callback. I liked her as a person, and that was that. It took something like 9 months to find her. I was starting to get worried I wouldn't find the right person. So, hell yeah, could not have made it without her.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I think she was just incredible. I'm so glad you ended up finding her because she does pull off all the nuance, and you could really. She's a full person. It's not just this one note kind of person, and which is sometimes that's fine depending on what you're doing, but to have that sympathy for the person and to be able to be there in that fear and all those emotional experiences, I thought she was just fantastic. Her facial expression, she was super.
Yeah, and of course, you guys know Mike and Sophia pretty well. They've been my core crew since our Boston days, and they were down to clown once again, and they made some magic with me, and I'm really proud of everybody. But we did work with a couple of other new people, but it was also people that Mike and Sophia had recommended. So it was like I said, if you trust them, I trust them, and let's do this. Yeah.
And a lot of the stuff I've seen Vincent in is more comedic, so it was interesting to see him in a really different role.
Yeah, if you've ever seen Blood of the Dinosaurs, though, you will see him both be comedic and extremely creepy. It's awesome.
Yeah, and since it's primarily the two characters, it's obviously really important to cast the right people for both roles and have chemistry between them.
Yeah.
And
1000%.
when you're putting it together, is part of the idea like you want to be able to pull this off because you don't know like how much more money you're going to get or anything. So you want like, you know, a relatively small cast, like kind of one location, like are those things you're thinking about when you're trying to put together your first feature?
Oh, absolutely. I didn't have a budget from any indie studio or producer, and it was just never going to be in the cards. So it was kind of like, what do we have or can get access to, and how can we make this work? And so, yeah, I intentionally kept things small. We had to. But again, you know, it forces you to think in other ways. And you know, the house that we shot in, most rooms were small, you know, so guess what? We're breaking out wide angle lenses and we're going to use different angles and we're going to just do crazy shit. And, you know, the house itself was built into the side of a hill and it had all these layers to it ascending. Yeah, it was really strange. And thankfully, that location offered a lot of flavor and personality as well. So it didn't seem repetitive too much, you know, or boring, or you're just shooting in the same damn room for every single scene.
Even that attic space.
Yeah. I love that attic space. It's just strange. It's unfinished. It's there. It's got a lot of character.
Well, how long did it take to find the right house?
It took a couple of months. We were getting a lot of sass from people in LA where we had to shoot, really, because everybody lived there besides myself and Steve. And so it's much easier for us to go down there to import anybody else anywhere else, like to Boston or wherever. But shooting in LA is maddeningly expensive, and people will be snappy at you if you don't have $1 billion. So that was really fun to deal with. We ran into a few scammers, I'm pretty sure, and, you know, like edged away from there. Things that were too good to be true or just didn't feel right, and people who just kind of laughed in our face for the amount we had. And then a friend of mine was going to shoot on location somewhere, and you know, this person is someone I go to for advice a lot, and he asked me what my budget was, and we worked things out, and we went and lived there while we shot. So it worked out, and I'm just glad it did, because, you know, when you're balancing all of these things, you're spinning plates, there's so much going on. Any little thing or any big thing can fall through and kill the movie, you know?
Let's see, Renegade Film Festival. Our audience is going to lose their mind over this film, and it's heading to Fright Fest in March. Way to go, Izzy!
Oh,
thank you, Vanessa. You're amazing. Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. So, what was the experience like watching it for the first time with an audience? I know you've made many shorts and watched shows with an audience, but you know, obviously, it's bigger when it's a feature film.
Yeah, it's kind of terrifying, to be honest, to be in that kind of a spotlight. I've like I said, been on the festival circuit all over the place for so many years, and with shorts, it's kind of cozy because you're up on stage with a whole bunch of other people, and it's a shared experience. This time around, it's like, hey, spotlight, intense spotlight. And so I just tried to lean in the fact that we were at Brooklyn Horror for our world premiere. I'm a multi-alum there. We're among friends. And, you know, I just decided to make it a party. We're just going to have a party, you know? I'm going to forget about all this pressure or anxiety or whatever that's sort of messing with my head, and just go have fun. And I did. And it was really terrific.
And
that's another wonderful festival. Go on, Annabelle.
Just that the festival crowd, I think it's such a great experience. I think people, they get to the place where they know festivals that are friendly and supportive and ones that are more cold and not so great. So being able to find that and have that comfort, I'm so glad you were able to do that and just let go as much as you could and just be with the people that you like and try to let it rest.
Yeah, it was nice. And there were a number of other filmmakers there who were friends that are also playing. And that was a comfort to see them again. And people who live in New York that just go to the fest that I know that was just so lovely. What a wonderful, thrilling, insane experience, you know? Now I get to go do it again in another country, and that's going to be insane.
Have you been to that festival before?
I have not been to Scotland or the UK or no. I've played Fright Fest a number of times with short films. This is the first time I've ever been able to attend any of these editions that they do. They do the main fest in August, they do a Halloween fest in October, and they have a residency at Glasgow Film Festival in March. And so that's where we're going. It's wild. It's a dream come true.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Renegade Film Festival. It's got an amazing lineup. Later on, we're gonna have the exclusive premiere of the video of the lineup, and there's a handful of features, a ton of shorts, and 40th anniversary of Reanimator. So it's gonna be a pretty wild time.
Are you guys going to be there on the ground for the festival for Renegade?
Fortunately, not.
I cannot.
Yeah,
I'm trying. I don't know if I can get myself there because the plane tickets are just insane. Absolutely insane. I'm still trying, but I don't know. Fingers crossed. But I love Renegade, and I really want to be there.
Yeah, we were there a couple years ago. It's a really fun festival, not just because we're talking about the movie, but it really is a great festival. I like the intimate festivals where everyone's watching the movies on one screen.
Yeah,
I think
it's really nice.
A special feeling.
Yeah, you get
like
to know
a community
people.
feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And I've got so many friends going, and I want to go.
Vanessa's awesome stage presence. She was last year. I don't remember. She had like a boxing, like the silk robe, and I was like, this woman is incredible.
Nice.
She just, and
there was a strange protester at the event.
Really? Protesting what? Like people being alive?
What was the movie?
Not alive. I mean, it was. So we had the what's the name?
Oh, it was is it called A for Abortion? The
yes, of course.
The anthology film. Yeah, there was a guy there protesting.
Give me an A.
Yeah, there was that stereotypical loud older
and just one guy. It was a one man.
And he's got like a sandwich board, and he's like, you just yelling. He might have even had a megaphone. It was very, very dramatic.
That's so gross.
And it was. But then, so I had gone circumstantially, went for a walk, and I came back, and there's just like this mob of filmmakers outside, just like, rah! I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to get ugly. This is going to be this fight pretty soon. All these people going after this one guy. They were very clever, and the police did come. But it all worked out, and the filmmakers were victorious, and that guy ran away. Yes. So it was kind of good.
Well, I hope he was shamed and humiliated that day, because what a way to spend your time. What a loser. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and if you're one guy, you'd think at that point, I might as well go home at this,
Yeah.
Oh, they're so emboldened these days.
That's very true. It's very true. But we don't want to say that's like what the festival's about. The festival's a great time.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it's one of the greatest diverse and fun and inclusive festivals that I've ever been to.
Mm-hmm. So obviously we talked, we didn't talk too in depth, but there's a lot of messages in your movie. When you're putting it together, like you think about we got to balance this out. Obviously you want messages in your films, but it's also a horror movie at the same time. So, what's that like to find the balance?
I mean, it's like a weird thing because you don't want to be a preacher about things. I hate that. It's not fun. It's just, I don't like being lectured at. That's not fun. It's a fine line, and some things are going to be more obvious than others. But I also like to throw in a little bit of dark humor every now and then too. And it is a horror movie. I've gotten lambasted in a few reviews for not going far enough. But like, my friend, that would be a drama, and that would be your movie and not mine. And so, like, fuck you, go make that movie yourself. People are silly, and they don't like to do anything for themselves, and at least these kinds of people, you know what I mean? They should go try it. Stop fishing and go try it. So yeah,
That's a great quote. Very quotable. Stop itching, go try it.
Right.
Yeah.
See how easy it is.
You yourself, do you believe in ghosts?
I think so. I think so. Shortly after my grandmother passed in 1993, I was home alone doing my chores and sweeping, and all of the windows and doors in the house were shut. It was a cold November day, or was it? Actually, I think it was February. It was a cold February day, so it's the middle of winter, dead of winter. And there was a pantry that was, it adjoined the kitchen, and they had we had a little piece of like floor in there, and I would just go sweep the little piece of the floor when I was doing these silly chores, and the door blew open by itself, and it stayed open. It just drifted open on its own in front of me when I went to go to the pantry to open the door. And then I didn't feel afraid. I didn't feel kind of anything but like sort of a comforting warmth. I'm like, that might be my grandma. And I swept like the little partition there, and I said, thank you. And then drifted shut. So yeah, I think I do.
So if you haven't been in that space, you've been there enough to know, well, that isn't just something that happens. That it's not like a trick door that sometimes opens.
No, I mean, we had lived there for a long time, and that was the only thing in that house that ever happened that was any kind of supernatural. I've been in old hotels and inns, one in Cape Cod, one in New Orleans, that were absolutely hands down haunted. The feeling of being watched is extremely, extremely creepy when you know no one is physically in that room. Yeah. So ghosts are real.
The first time we used the Ouija board together, Annabelle and I, was on the Cape. I'm on the Cape, and yeah, and I don't believe in any of that stuff, but it was it was actually like getting answers, and I was like, oh, maybe there's something to this. It was an interesting experience.
Well, I mean, energy never dies. So when our bodies fall apart and decompose, like, where does our energy go? It goes somewhere. If you believe in science, like I'm sure you two fine people do, like the energy goes somewhere. It's all intertwined. We just don't understand it yet.
I think it's a really good point. There are many things we do not understand. And so I think the idea of ghosts are silly or spirits are silly is in itself silly, because we only have so much science right now. So science lasts. We'll see how it goes.
Pesky facts and science, I know.
I always find it interesting in movies that deal with if they're supernatural or not, is like the point where the characters like they're going to believe or not. So like, is that hard to like when you're writing it? Like, because sometimes I've watched stuff where after a while it's like, well, it's almost unbelievable they don't believe something's happening. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you'd have to believe it at some point, or maybe they buy in it too early. So just like finding the point, like maybe they're thinking something else is going on.
Yeah, I mean, there's always, a splash of unreality of, am I losing my mind? Is this being staged by an actual human that's gaslighting me or wants to hurt me? Or is this actually happening? Like, any of the above can be true. Or is it a ghost? That argument can be made again and again and again. And I really enjoyed playing that. And Vince and Fana, they knocked those arguments out of the park. We had a really good time just playing, and there's a particular scene where she's pouring watery blood from having cleaned stuff up that was from her mind, and it goes from his mind, somebody fucking with them, and fun little interstitial type scene where I believe has some dark comedic tones to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I loved shooting that part.
And you get some cool cameos in the movie. Joe Lynch, one of our early guests on the show. Is he someone you know from the festivals?
Yeah. I mean, I met, I want to say 2017. I met Joe at Fantasia in Montreal. And then I met him at Panic Fest a couple of times. We ended up hanging out at Panic Fest because he's their official or unofficial ambassador. I'm not sure what they call him, but he's there usually every year. And I always got the vibe that he was a good guy and he's helpful and he cares. And I just really like him as a human being. And I asked him, hey, man, are you around during these days in January in LA? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, do you want to come make a fun cameo? And he's like, I'm down. And yeah, that part is so fun.
Yeah, no, he's very yeah, that's a bit of the comedy in the movie. And yeah, he's great in it. And
yeah, we shot that on day one in the morning, and it was comforting, you know, to have him there, and he was just so kind and continues to be kind. So yeah.
It's been really cool to see him do so well. We were MySpace friends way back in the day.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So it was a long time ago. Yeah. But yeah, he's really like done all kinds of stuff since then. Really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
And of course, Mick Garris.
Yeah, Mick is so fun. Also a really nice guy. I mean, clearly legendary in what he's done over his career, from publicity on Star Wars to Amazing Stories, getting hired by Spielberg, to Masters of Horror and all his Stephen King adaptations, and also just down for whatever. And I find his voice really comforting. So I asked him if he would, you know, provide this short voiceover, and he was like, yeah, sure, of course.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great. Yeah.
It is amazing that sometimes you mentioned like there's a lot of people that are out in LA just being shit. But sometimes you really just, all you have to do is ask, and the cool people will go with it.
Yeah. Yep. Those are your people. Anyone else? That's okay. That's fine. See you later.
Yeah. And speaking of cool people, well, the opposite would be Michael Epstein. No, we got Michael Epstein.
And shots fired.
And then Sophia, and you mentioned it before, but so Sophia, cinematographer on the movie. And so I know you guys have, not only just friends and you've worked together and stuff. So did she like right away, like get what you were going for?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we've worked together so many times that we almost don't even need to talk, which is really cool. I'll explain something and she'll be like, yeah. And we'll set up the shot and she'll nail it. And sometimes we'll try something with different angles or whatever. And oh my God, I'm so proud of her. She has gotten so good. You know, I've been able to watch both of them grow. And it's been really delightful, you know. We've all kind of been on this parallel journey one way or another. And it's just such a fun joy to watch. Yeah.
How early did you get into filmmaking? Because I know, I from what I heard, Michael didn't get into it for ages. I don't know how early on Sophia started, but I know Michael was very late in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think they started at the same time, being married and, you know, having other projects together, from the bands to the films and music videos and stuff. I was an extra on one of their music videos. I want to say it was like 2014. But I had wrangled them into helping me on shoots as early as late 2012. And they were sort of dipping their toes in around that time. As for myself, I had done a shit ton of school plays starting in kindergarten, and, you know, I was a theater kid, and even in college, and I continued on doing theater. I had directed a short or two in high school, just with some neighborhood kids, you know, some mopey vampire goth stuff. Just, you know, playing around, never serious about it. I had made a couple of shorts in college, and my professor was like, you should be a filmmaker. And I was like, I'm not a rich white guy. And, you know, I ended up being a film journalist and a festival programmer, and I had seen enough films, programming and writing about them, to be like, you know, I'm going to try this myself. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm just going to try, and I'm going to have fun. And I love trying different mediums. So here we are. And that was 2012. It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Over that time, how has that changed? Because you say, I'm not a rich white guy. Over the years, how has that changed as a female director?
Oh my God.
I feel like the independent festivals are ahead of the curve on that.
Oh yeah, of course. Back in 2013, when I started playing festivals, there would be like, one woman in a group of like 10 guys. That ratio isn't much different today. There are more of us, thankfully, with shorts. With features, the ratio drops way down. At smaller independent regional horror fest, you will see more of us, which is so great. But the higher the echelon, the fewer of us you will see. And it doesn't make me feel good, because it's wrong. So it really points to a larger systemic bias that's been in place for 100 years. So
do you feel like a lot of that is not just is this quality versus, because the quality is there, but the people who will sink money in, and that the necessity for that money to exist to make what you want,
those people are unicorns. Yes.
Yeah. Those are lucky people.
Yeah.
Trust fund.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get ahead of the festivals, obviously, because you're kind of just starting out with the festival run. But what are the plans to do with the House of Ashes after the festivals?
Yeah, I mean, the plan is we're probably going to do limited theatrical.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited because that is just, I did not expect it. That's a dream come true to hear. So my distributor was, we've been talking about it, and with everything in film, nothing is ever guaranteed. So it's kind of like fingers crossed. It's not happening until it's already happened, kind of a thing. So hopefully it happens. We'll see, and that would be in the fall. But until then, we'll be playing festivals. Yeah, and that's always
even that it's up for a possibility.
Yeah. It does seem like independent horror. It's for like lower budget stuff. That's the stuff that does get like a limited theatrical release because that's what people will go see.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, as opposed to like a low budget, drama or something.
Yeah, I mean, horror always does better. Like fear is universal. We need to go get scared in order to feel some sort of cathartic release, I think.
Yeah.
And to avoid reality. I'm really into that.
That too.
Need a break.
Mm-hmm.
Just totally get engulfed in something so strange and brain grabbing.
Yes. I mean, I just picked up the 4Ks of both Suspiria and Phenomena, and Phenomena was the second DVD I ever bought.
Wow.
And that was it was a blind buy Kim's in New York City, and that was in the 90s. And it's just the weirdest movie. And so got the 4K from Synapse, put it on last night, and just like that kind of a movie, especially in the third act, there is no way you are not going to be fully engrossed, because what the hell am I watching?
Crazy.
There's a monkey with a straight razor. There's a murderous, deformed child, teenager, whatever it's supposed to be. There's Daria Nicoldi being truly insane. There's Donald Pleasance being murdered and brought out on a stretcher while Motorhead plays and sings, and Lemmy sings about getting loaded, which is fucking hilarious. There's like, how is that not an escape? Beautiful. Oh yeah, horror always.
What were the horror movies that like influenced you to want to make horror movies?
Yeah, sure. God, John Carpenter's The Thing is probably my favorite. Everything David Lynch has ever done. Cronenberg's The Brood, Escape from New York, RoboCop is way up there. Jaws, Alien. So many weird things, and I love absurd stuff too, like movies you're not supposed to like because they're not good, but they're like hella entertaining. I love that stuff. Hard Ticket to Hawaii, not an influence by any means. Hilarious. Hilarious. you know.
What is this movie?
Hard
It's
Ticket to Hawaii.
okay. This was one of my pandemic discoveries. And so what I would do is like, everything is so insane. Maybe the world's ending. I'm just going to watch the craziest shit I can find. Hard Ticket to Hawaii. There's a toilet snake. There's
What snake? No.
That's a movie on its own. Toilet Snake. Yeah.
Like even the theme song is ridiculous. Larry Cohen. I love Larry Cohen's work.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Friedkin.
The Stuff is one of my favorite movies.
So good. I revisited that a few weeks ago. Yeah.
And, that's something. Not that I say it like we don't agree on stuff, but me and Sophie are huge fans of the Stuff.
Of course, have to be. It's the rules.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's I know. Like when I was a kid, like people, I didn't know many people like the Stuff or Basket Case, but it is cool. On the internet now, it's like, oh, other people like these movies that I loved when I was a little kid.
Basket Case is just one of my favorites because it's so out there.
Yeah, you even have a stop motion.
I was just gonna say,
everything about it's the best.
Stop motion. I'm in. He's like flying. Oh my god! Just the idea of it.
The red eyes, the body falling in half after it gets like table sawed.
I'm just launching out of the basket.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
It's terrible.
It's operatic. Like I want to study opera.
One of the movies I've watched the most in my life. I think it's. I think it's just fantastic.
So fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
And if you ever get a chance, you can go and learn the ancient art of stone carving from Kevin Van Hentenryck from Basket Case.
Amazing.
Every summer.
It is awesome.
Weren't his sculptures in Basket Case 3? I feel like they were.
Well, he probably found a way.
Yeah.
I bet they are.
Yeah, it was funny when we went a few times, and everyone there just knows him as like the mason of the building. Yeah, of the town. They don't know like he's in these crazy movies.
Yeah, and bringing up Renegade once again, Reanimator was a big influence. Reanimator and From Beyond. Stuart Gordon is so good. So good. I produced a one-night showing of, maybe you guys were there. It was Nevermore at the Somerville Theater, October 31st, 2014.
Yeah, I think that's when we first met you, actually.
We met you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That was amazing.
That was crazy. I'm never doing it again.
It
was so stressful, guys.
A learning experience. Well, I know something was up with the person involved.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
It was a great show. I will say that. Yeah.
It was an amazing show.
Very complicated situation, and you did it, and it was very successful. So you got through it.
Enchanté.
You're smiling a lot more than that night, I think.
I got through the movie too, which was also fucking stressful, but that's for different reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was what are some of the biggest differences? Obviously, it's longer and it costs more, but what's some of the biggest differences from making a feature film and making a short film?
Oh my god! Well, I got dehydrated on like the second day, and I had no idea why. And it's just because you're on your feet for like the entire day. You're not drinking enough. You're not eating enough. You've got stress on each side. There's a billion decisions to make per hour. So I checked in with some film friends. They're like, oh yeah, you're probably dehydrated. And by the way, you should also get D3 and iron and maybe you're anemic. And I'm like, okay, great. Good to know. And so it's like, I talked to my crew. I'm like, please watch me. I'm going to be sitting down more than usual because I feel really dizzy because apparently I'm dehydrated.
You need that person following you around with like a water bottle.
Oh God, no. I did have my AD, Jeff, pay particular attention to me though. He was a great AD. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, physically, how demanding it was. I had never been directing a short. I would do that 2 days at most, and that was that. And you're tired, and you go home, and you're sad you couldn't do more, and whatever. But this was 16 days, and I had spread it out over 4 weeks to sort of give myself a break. But it was still like, oh my God. Exhausting because didn't have a full crew. You know, we had a skeleton crew. I was doing more jobs than I would have liked to have done, and it just took so much energy, brain power, physical, energy. It's just Jesus. I was just exhausted all the time, 24/7. I would get like 4 hours of sleep a night, maybe 3 sometimes. It was bad. It was bad.
And how do you keep it together? I know just a regular work day by the end of the day. I do a hard job. And at the end of the day, I'm just like, my brain is done. I'm done. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So I assume that at some point that happens and you have to keep going. Sometimes you just
and it's hard. So it's just like in that case, I would just go away and be like, I need 5 or 10, shut the door, put on some headphones, and just close my eyes and lay down and drink a lot of water or tea or whatever, during what time of day it was. And just being alone, to not talk to anybody, to just shut out the world and put on some, chill music, was really restorative. But it was hard because I couldn't do that often. We had the day to get through. We had all the shots to get through and scenes, and you're constantly juggling so many things, and it does get overwhelming. It really does.
Is that a trick you knew to do beforehand, or is it something you learned in this process?
A little bit of both, because crowds and a lot of frenetic energy drains me to begin with. So I knew I was going to have to be careful. But I had asked, Joe's advice and Mike and Timmy's advice and, a whole bunch of other friends' advice on stuff like that. And so I had a bevy of opinions all over the place. And the people who were the most sensitive among those people that I had asked advice from did say exactly that. Shut yourself away, take a breather, even if it's just 5 minutes alone. It's going to help. And change your socks and shoes halfway throughout the day, because your feet will be extremely tired. Sit down as much as you can. They're right.
Socks and shoes.
Yeah.
Wow. We'll note that down. Had you worked with the effects team before? And I don't want to give any spoilers away, but the fire effects I thought was great in the movie, and sometimes that's something that doesn't work in a film.
Yeah, thank you. Action VFX is the company that provides those, and what they do is they package and sell individually VFX assets for your artists to, implement. And so, knowing what I was going to shoot, I did some research and I asked around, and I got, the advice to be like, check these guys out. So I did, and their stuff looked great. And their roster of clients are major studios, and like people marvel and like crazy things,
Yeah.
But it was actually affordable on like the tiniest budget ever. And that was just so impressive that we have progressed technologically to the stage where that's something that's available to even somebody like me. So I got these assets, directed the artist, and it worked out pretty well, but I had never worked with a VFX artist before.
Look, because honestly, even in some bigger stuff, a fire is one thing that never looks right unless it's like, like using real fire in set, which isn't like the best idea usually. But it looked great in the movie. So that's
well, some of the fire was real.
Okay.
The matchstick house is real fire.
Mm-hmm.
And we shot that on one of the other cameras that, was higher. It just slow-mo was able to capture more. If Sophia was here, she could talk to it. And the rest of it, like actually the desert pit is real fire, augmented by VFX fire, and the rest of it is VFX fire. So there's a mix. But my team was really great. Matt Stewart's, who is a filmmaker in his own right.
Yeah, we know him.
Yeah, he was our gaffer and our Segway camera op, and he would just light things
like a pyromaniac.
Well, I mean, like with electronic lights.
Yeah.
So he was just so talented. He knew exactly what to do. I'm sure he'd done it a billion times before, but you can also add these other little, I don't remember what these boxes were. They had these blinking light boxes that were sort of matted, and they had a magnet to them so you could stick them on metallic surfaces that were really cool. And so, Sophia and Matt would also light stuff to reflect on actors' faces, which also gives it, a more realistic fire look,
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked on Smash with us. He's a really good guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quiet.
And he has the mohawk too, like Mike.
Yeah. Yes.
The mohawk.
He was so quiet. I almost didn't know he was there most of the time.
Yeah, actually, you say that when we did Smash, he's real quiet. Then we had him on the show. He was very talkative and very excited about his film. I was like, oh, it's like a completely different side of Matt. I remember it. So, yeah, it was very cool.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And I love the poster too. So,
yeah.
Who worked on the poster?
It was somebody on my distributor's team. They hired somebody.
That's unusual. Sometimes you hear like, we had this cool poster, and the distributor made something's very generic, but it looks really
right.
Cool.
Yeah. Well, they had come to me and they asked me, all right, give us a whole bunch of preliminary stills. It doesn't matter if they're not colored yet. We want to see what you're doing, what you're up to. Tell us what colors you like. Give us examples of other movie poster art. Stuff that you really, really like. And so I basically art directed the hell out of that. And I was surprised, very, very delighted, like that, when they were called V channels, they came back and like, what do you think of this? And I was like, no. Oh my God, this is amazing. Yeah. They hired somebody in the Philippines. I was never told his name, but
yeah, they did an amazing job. Yeah, actually, I'll be honest. I got an email once about the movie, and this was before I knew it was your movie, or I just didn't put it together. And I just like, oh wow, this looks really cool, because it is the first thing you see a lot of times is the poster, and I was like, oh, this is Izzy's movie. So, but yeah, the poster's great.
Yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah. It'll be cool merch, I think, if a shirt or whatever.
Yeah.
Even for yourself would be cool.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm gonna print it out once I stick a few more laurels on there and hang it up on my wall. It's gonna be so fun.
Oh yeah, you've got a good collection of them already. So
yeah,
yeah.
3 already. More to come.
And they're good ones. So
yeah,
not that there's any bad ones, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
You mentioned.
Hang on.
Oh, I was going to say, you mentioned influential movies, and I don't know if you wanted to take a moment. You mentioned David Lynch. So, yeah. Yeah,
really upset.
How influential was he on your filmmaking?
If he was. Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to talk about because I know his daughter just like a tiny bit, and like it's a real grief. But the cool thing was in the outpouring of love for him and his films in the last week, there was somebody that had worked with him comforting somebody else that had never met him. And this person said, if you feel like you knew him, it's because you did. He was exactly that person. And I got to meet him about 20 years ago at Emerson College in Boston.
Wow.
Yeah. I am really lucky to have been invited to this transcendental meditation event that he did there. And there was a small gathering, just an informal reception afterwards, and he was just there. And this is when I had first started getting into the film festival programming game, and still trying to be an actor at that point. And so I asked him how he chose actors, and whatever he said, I don't know if I'll ever remember, because his words were obliterated when he kissed me on the cheek. So it was amazing, and it's something I'll never forget. And there was like this Transcendental Meditation DVD that they were just giving out, and I had them sign it. And I think he shaped so many filmmakers that everybody that loved him or his work or both, like, we feel like a piece of us is gone. So, yeah, hard.
He was quite a presence. I was even thinking about him earlier, and a little bit of kind of like, I was frustrated about work. I'm like, well, what would David Lynch do? Because he's so positive.
Amazing,
Every time
right?
I see him, I know he had on set, he'd get mad, and people get mad, but generally he just had this beautiful vibe.
Yeah, that's all the meditation stuff. I would love to get to that point. I feel like I'm on the journey, but
to the beautiful vibe.
Yeah.
Were there any in particular projects of his that really stood out to you or spoke to you?
I mean, Fire Walk with Me is Twin Peaks. The resolution of all of that, with all of the silliest parts cut out, with it's just raw, and it got a really bad rap, which I never understood because it was so powerful. Like, how can something that makes me feel so deeply, how can this be not good to other people? Like, what the fuck is everyone's problem? And like, people are, how many years later? That was 1992.
Wow.
How does it take people that long to come around to a great work of art? Beats the fuck out of me. But that, Blue Velvet, God, so many, or even Eraserhead, so strange. The Elephant Man has so much humanity to it. Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway are love. Yeah, I mean, anything he did was fucking amazing.
Renegade Festival here. We were devastated to hear David Lynch's passing. He was such an enigmatic artist and huge influence on just about everyone in cinema. How lucky are we that we got to exist in the same time as him?
1000%. It's like David Bowie passing.
Yeah,
same thing, at least for me.
I agree.
Yeah,
agree. Not just a creator, which is big enough, but really a force and such a presence. And everybody knows who he is.
Yeah,
they don't know him by name. They know what Twin Peaks is.
Right. Yeah.
For people, we want people to go see the movies at the festivals. Go to Renegade coming up. If you're in overseas, go Fright Fest. Here it's on my head. And now you got a lot of shorts out there, and there are a rise of platforms where the shorts can find homes now. It used to be kind of like they'd play festivals and really they kind of disappear, or you'd have to really find them on like someone's personal YouTube page. So where can people like see some of your shorts?
Alter has Rites of Vengeance and My Monsters. That was 2017 and 2018 respectively. And Arrow has Meat Friend.
Oh.
And yeah, oh my God, I love Arrow so much. Arrow is just, I feel like they're the criterion of genre, and they do such good work, and they're so punk rock about things. You know, I really appreciate their support. I met Alan Simmons, who, you know, reached out to program Meat Friend on the channel. He was venting at Brooklyn Horror, and so that was really
it's
cool.
where we met.
Yeah. It's really cool to finally meet him, and Arrow fucking rocks. I love Arrow. And Meat Friend is also on YouTube, so. Yeah.
You should go check those out. And Renegade Film Festival. Get there if you're in the area. If you can make it, it's a great festival, and they've got a real great collection of like 4 or 5 feature films and a ton of cool shorts. And Reanimator 40th, I believe they're doing something special for that. So it's a pretty wild event.
And it's a cool area too.
Yeah,
so we got it all: food, vibe in the actual films is pretty important. But
And lots of really fun people.
Yes.
And one of the coolest trophies, I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hatchet. It's awesome.
Yeah, I actually have one behind me. You guys want to see?
Yeah,
Yes.
Little Renegade promotion. We got this for Best Editing for Rights of Vengeance in 2017. Let's see if I can reach it, because it's way up.
Oh, yeah, it is. I was thinking maybe it was in the other one. All right. Oh, she got it.
Oh my goodness, it's
I
amazing.
got it. Yeah. So, woo!
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So where can people find you? Neil got where we could find your movies, but where can people follow you?
Oh, well, I am on Blue Sky and for now, Instagram. I don't know how much longer I'll be on Facebook/Meta. Things are just wildly creepy and fascist right now. But yeah, for now, Instagram and Blue Sky is where you can find me. And I have my website, nilenoctum.com. Yeah.
Well, I'll link to that on the website and the YouTube here.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, this was great. It was good to talk with you.
You too,
Again.
guys. It's been a while.
Yeah, quite a while. So Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me is going to be in the area soon. So,
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. As it should be.
Yes.
Yeah.
But get ready for your soul to be torn apart.
So it was great having you back, and congratulations on this film. Really.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. We'll let you go. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
A pleasure.
You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
You too. Bye.
All right. That was great.
Yeah, it was great. Nice to chat with Izzy Lee again. It's been a long time. A long, long time.
Yeah, it actually came up. It wasn't the anniversary, but it did come up on memories. It was 10 years ago.
Oh, no kidding. Wow. It's pretty wild.
Yeah. It was 10 years ago. This year it was it was winter when we did when we went to see her play there.
I think it was near Halloween
Oh, maybe it was.
Eve. Yeah.
I know it was cold though, but it used to be colder back then, I think.
It was -5 today. So
yeah, I know, but Halloween is October. I'm saying it was colder. It was a colder October than it has been lately.
Indeed, but it won't be as cold into Atlanta.
No.
Probably.
Yeah.
So if you want to get warmer, see amazing.
Head over to Atlanta.
Because we don't have to say this festival is great. We're choosing to because it is great.
Exactly. So yeah, we're gonna do a series of interviews here. We got for the next 3 weeks. We had Izzy tonight. And even if you go back, we had the Elfmans on. Bloody Bridget will be playing. So it'll be really cool. Yeah. I real quick before we play the Renegade video.
Yeah.
I had the exclusive of it was announced that Robert Eggers is making a werewolf movie, his next film, Werewolf. And so this is the Without Your Head exclusive. It's the first image from the movie. Look at that. Damn. Robert Eggers at it again here.
Oh, poor Renegade. Play the damn clip.
All right, here we go. It's the first time it's being played anywhere. Exclusive here and Without Your Head. Let's get right to it.
Brain death brings about an irreversible conclusion.
I'm sure.
That was a lot of fun. I loved it.
I'm very excited. So yeah, Izzy Lee was on. We had the Elfmans. Next week we have the Avonette Bradleys are returning, which I don't think you've ever talked to before. They've been on the show several times for the Protos Experiment, which has Without Your Head alumni Trista Robinson.
Oh, very good.
And then the first week of February we'll have Lisa Ovies on the show for Puppet Killer.
Awesome.
And then we may have some other folks on the show. Who knows?
Wow. Well, thank you so much to the Renegade Film Festival, for hooking us up with all this amazing opportunities, because it's great to be able to support you.
Yeah. Congrats on Jamie Hill here from Skinamarink was congratulating Izzy on the award.
So,
Oof, it's freezing here right now.
man,
Yeah, we're normally live Thursdays. I know it's a different night here, but whenever you're listening to this, hit the like button, subscribe, become a member if you want to help support the show. Share this out and join us when we're live, because it's really fun to interact in the chat.
yes, all of the above.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Before we go, I have a question. I found this on the beach, washed ashore.
Oh, interesting.
In my mind, it is a peg leg from a pirate. I'm saying this is old pirates. It is this peg leg washed ashore. Maybe it's just the leg off a table, but I'm thinking this is a peg. This is a peg leg. Hopefully, it's not like the fog, and then they're going to come and try to collect the lost peg leg. But
so that looks
old.
Blow yourself up.
What do you? Wow! Do you just get rid of myself? You're alive on the show?
That'd be awesome. It'd be worth it. I don't know. It does. I think it just is wood. I thought maybe it was a bone because of that.
No, it's wood. It's wood.
But
it's definitely wood. But I'm thinking, in my mind, it's an old peg leg from Pirate Jim here.
Well, there is agreement about the fog, and that you're basically screwed.
Damn.
Yeah.
Should I go put it back in the ocean?
Hey, we've got the launch over, lovely people. Hello.
Sandwich Bay has a curse on it. Yeah. Or maybe it's a shillelagh. I don't know.
I have a legit shillelagh around here.
I'm gonna work it into Arbor Day somehow.
Aha! We found at the beach. Stuff from the beach stinks. Does it stink?
No. I left it dry out a little while before I brought it inside.
Oh. Neil's nose blind to the stink of the swamps of Sandwich.
No, it doesn't really have any odor at all. It's pretty cool, though.
It is pretty cool. It looks like it's got heft.
It does. It's very heavy. I think I could do some damage with this.
Yeah, maybe you'll have a future movie where that's a weapon.
Maybe.
So
my pal Andrew, who's going to be in Arbor Day, and the short that we'll be filming here very soon, which is it's not necessarily a prequel to Arbor Day, but it's the characters from Arbor Day. Anyway, the plan was to show it at Severed Limbs next week, but I don't think we're gonna have time to do that, and I don't want to just hack it up real quick. But we'll have it done in probably February. We'll show it sometime in February, or maybe we'll save it for the next Severed Limbs. I don't know, but either way, we're gonna film it soon. And he's all about this. He's also going to come out for Our Man Funk, which AJ is cool for him to meet everybody. And he wants me to write him as a psychopath. He wants a completely different thing. He wants me to write him as a psychopath in another script.
Do you have a picture of him so people can see this?
Yeah, when you think
boy.
When you think you don't. If you see Andrew, you don't think psychopath. But when he said it, I was like, you know what? This works because he's very innocent looking. And then you mentioned Norman Bates, and I'm like, yeah, this could work. Let me try to find.
I am privy to the content of this short, and Neil is funny. Right. It's funny. The script and the stuff I've seen for Arbor Day is super funny. Super funny. Y'all are in for a treat.
Yeah, so there's many reasons why I wrote this short. I've really enjoyed writing for these characters, so that's fun. And also, I thought it would be good for everyone to, because a lot of them have not been in anything before. And I think instead of them what?
Neither have I.
Well, if
He
you
was
were
like,
around,
he's a villain. Okay.
Well, originally it was going to be like a short. We were going to film in a weekend, but then I kept expanding because I found that I like writing nonsense and Troy kept making cool stuff. So, but anyway, not just nonsense. I think there's a cool mythology to it and everything. And, but there's also a lot of nonsense. And, anyway, I just thought it would be good for everyone to be comfortable as their character and not be too worried about like, oh, I got to know all my lines. If everyone is just comfortable as their character, that's really what's going to matter. They can, even though my dialogue is fucking genius, they can move it around a little bit, or we can feed them
your
lines.
dialogue does sound pretty important.
Yeah. But the point is, like, if everyone's just comfortable in their role,
yeah,
we can feed them the lines and stuff. That's all right. And also, I wanted Troy, I'm comfortable saying this now. I wanted to build his confidence in making masks, and there's one mask in the short. He's going to make several masks for Arbor Day, and it worked because he really enjoyed making the mask. And he's like, Neil, like, just keep writing stuff. I'll keep making stuff. So I was like, all right. So it's all working together. Now I have to get Annabelle in character somehow, and we'll figure it out. All right. Boom! There's Andrew.
Oh my God, he's so cute. I want to make him cake.
Yeah, so he wants to be a psychopath.
He's so cute. And you tell me stories about him, and he really is so cute. He's just an innocent boy.
Yeah. No, he's a good guy. He's a good kid. I like him a lot.
He seems like a really good guy.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, what
psychopath?
This Annabelle person bringing me. Well, I have to make him special. So that's what I can do. I can make him special for his diet cupcakes. I bet he doesn't have that every day.
Yeah, he can't eat a lot of different things.
Oh my God. How long ago was that?
It was in the summer because I'm wearing shorts.
He looks like he's 11.
Yeah, he actually is. Now he's like 6'2". I don't know. He's not really that tall, but he's way taller than he used to be.
So that's Andrew.
Yeah.
And if you think Andrew's great, then hopefully you'll be supporting Arbor Day in the future.
Exactly. Yeah. Well,
cool.
at the moment, we are. I put up. You can buy the patches right now if you want. $10 postpaid in the United States, $12 worldwide.
Here. Oh, I got it.
And that will just go just in some pre-production on some props that we're making currently.
There it is.
Yeah.
It is the evil demon tree. I'm surprised Neil got away with this no symbol, but I guess you can't.
Just we flying under the radar, and it's not going to be the logo of the movie. It's just kind of hidden.
Yeah. And this example is of Troy has been drawing cool cartoons probably since he was like
before
4.
I was alive.
Yeah. And so now for him to be doing 3-dimensional things is pretty excellent.
Yeah. Our Severed Limbs comic book was turned down by Amazon. They said it was a copyright. It was violation the Mad Men copyright right. And I've watched the whole series of Mad Men, and I don't remember Don Draper ever fighting a Yeti. That must have been one that I missed, or maybe they took it off of Netflix. They don't show it. I don't know. It's a lost episode of Mad Men. The one with the Yeti.
That you used? What's the image you tried to submit? Do you have it?
Yeah.
Judge for ourselves if this is a complete Mad Men ripoff.
It's got nothing to do. You know what? I just thought about it. It does say Mad Men on it.
Does it?
But yeah, but now Jesus. Now that because it says but so does in all of them. It says I'll show you here in 1 second.
Nasty Neil Plagiarism Jones.
Because it says featuring aliens, madmen, and monsters. Oh my lord! But they can't just own like. It's not called Mad Men. Like it's just the words. Like good lord! I didn't even think of that. That's insanity.
Oh my God. It's not.
Look, see, that's not mad. It's not freaking Mad Men. They're not selling ads.
You don't think that
They don't
guy
have a secretary.
you don't think he looks like he's meant to be in an office somewhere?
The Yeti's like flirting with his secretary, chasing her around the office. Maybe that's a whole other short I can make. I don't know. But no, no, I can't, because then they'll be like the Mad Men people come after me. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Maybe that actor could make a.
So I have to change that to what? Axe murderer or something?
That's
Aliens, murderers, and monsters, maybe?
Oh, that would be good. Aliens, murderers, and monsters has a good. Yeah.
Yeah, it rolls off the tongue. It's good.
Like
Very similar.
Yeah. Done. You just
Good.
switch it out. But I'm glad you saw that, because now it can just get fixed. What's going on?
I was
noticed the deal with your shirt there, your sweater.
Yeah. I know what you're about to say. They've really they've made it seem like this is this great love affair. The Frankenstein's monster and the bride. I've seen stuff where they're in hearts and like this, and this one's really actually this one's even worse than if they're just like in love with each other. This one makes it look like the bride's in love with the
and he's
and he's just, yeah, I'm fucking cool guy over here. I'm fucking Don Draper, and here's over we don't want to get the Mad Men people on us again, but yeah, this is like, the movie is fantastic. It's up there in my top probably 3 horror movies ever made. So it's not everyone knows that. It's not a hot take that I'm saying Bride of Frankenstein's a good movie, but in the movie, the bride is not in love with the monster.
No, that is not a choice she made.
No. She sees the monster and is horrified that it's really before it's time to. She's created to just be given to this, and she's like,
Mm-hmm.
But now you see all this stuff like this. I have a salt and pepper shaker where they have magnets and they're stuck together at lips or kissing. So it's, know what, they're doing her a disservice now.
No shit.
Because now, it's bad enough. She was created to love this guy, and she's like, "What the fuck?" I have control over myself. I don't love this guy. Now they're just stuck together for eternity through all these different merchandise people make.
Just earlier I saw something. I was looking at upcoming horror movies, and I saw this one. Didn't have time to read about it. The Bride is an upcoming. I just lost it. Is an upcoming American monster film written, directed, and produced by Maggie Gyllenhaal, starring Jessie Buckley, Christian Bale, Penelope Cruz, Peter Sarsgaard, and Annette Bening. The film draws inspiration from James Whale's 1935 The Bride of Frankenstein itself, adapted from Mary Shelley's 1818 novel Frankenstein or The Modern Prometheus. So I think that could be.
That is a movie. That's actually a good movie to remake for several reasons. It's not been done I guess there was The Bride in the 80s with Sting, but no one cares about that movie. It's terrible. But it's 100, almost 100 years later, give or take, a decade or two. But The Bride's a great movie. The Bride of Frankenstein is a great movie. But The Bride of Frankenstein is a very minor character in the movie, even though it's an iconic image. She's in it for a scene.
Yeah, so, she's there to be scared and scream.
Yeah. She's really not even a character in the movie. She's a device in the movie. So if you remake that and make her the actual the main character of the movie, you could do something new, as opposed to just let's recreate her and throw a mustache on her or something.
And that's quite the loaded list of people there. I like Maggie Gyllenhaal. So I
real quick here.
Yes.
Aliens copyright too. Gareth Edwards monsters. See, now he's joking with me, but there is a point here. You can't just say we own every word. I mean, no matter what I would write, you could write anything. And it'd be like, well, this is from, you can't write Donnie. That's friggin' Donnie Darko owns that. You can't put Rock on something. The Rock owns it. You just can't put a W on something. The WWE owns it. I mean, there would be no end.
Can't use a T because Mr. T.
Exactly. Can't wear gold chains.
I wonder if you could try to make the most. Oh my God. There's nothing wrong with a good feminine mustache. I guess that's becoming much more normalized.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a really good article about it. That it's just people are like, fuck it. They're just being fluffy.
No.
Which.
What were you about to say before that?
I think there was more than one thing. Oh, the idea of trying to intentionally make the most. You love that thing so much. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. I do. It's pretty sweet.
It's the most impossible to pass thing, like something that violates so much stuff, just like its appearance and the name, and just make the most possibly rejectable thing. I wonder what that would be like. What would you add to it to be the most rejectable?
It's like a big raging penis or something. I don't know.
Well, we're talking about names.
I see.
Sexual.
Oh, I see. I see.
X-rated. Dang, man.
Probably like something to do with the Avengers or something. Something with Marvel, some kind of Marvel Comics thing. Spider-Man's all over it, or Batman. I don't want to talk too much.
They're gonna get busted now. They're gonna be like, you can't say those words, dude.
No, just to say there's a guy I really like, and he's got this Joker Batman movie coming out. I was like, what the hell are you thinking, dude? But yeah, I would think probably the big comic book people.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably any kind of Disney thing.
Well, Steamboat Willie, that movie's coming out. Steamboat.
Yeah, that ran out though. So. I mean, like a modern Disney thing, not like Goofy or something, but
because no one cares about Goofy. To be honest, you could get away with that.
I am waiting. I gotta look into this. I've got to get the Without Your Head lawyers to look into this. When does Mayor McCheese become? When can I use Mayor McCheese?
Mayor McCheese, public domain.
Because all right, people can argue Winnie the Pooh is bad. But imagine a Mayor McCheese horror movie. That would be fantastic.
He'll just be stuffing burgers down people's throats until they choke to death.
Yeah, this we got.
Yeah.
That's what I want to make. The Mayor McCheese. Mayor McCheese.
Let's see.
That's gonna be my first tattoo, Mayor McCheese. And maybe my last. Just a big ass Mayor McCheese back tattoo.
Finally! You should get a Mayor McCheese tattoo. We've been talking about that since we met.
I know.
You could have had it all that time now.
Yeah, but then I couldn't talk about it. I really just talk about it.
Talk about it. You would it'd be just like your little belly button thing. You'd be like, Neil, you show off everything you possibly.
My belly? I don't show off my belly button.
The thing that Troy made.
Oh yeah, what's this here?
Monster.
Look at, I mean, when Troy just starts making this stuff, how can I not just keep? I wrote this into Arbor Day. It has nothing to do with the movie. I made it into a whole plot point of the movie.
You were so
not like a big plot
like,
point, but it actually added to the movie.
I wanted you to keep your gut thing, and you wouldn't. You were so bothered by it. You're so bothered that you wouldn't even reply to me with words.
The what now?
When you were getting all the surgeries and stuff.
Oh. Yeah,
it was something. There was something they took out, and I'm like, "You should keep it."
My soul?
No, it was some body part.
My body part. No,
you could just be like, "It's mine. Please give it to me." And
they let me keep my teeth, but they would not. I actually asked because I found out that surgeons don't. They have no sense of humor.
No.
Some of the
They're not put on
doctors
Earth
did.
for that purpose. They're put on Earth for surgery, not
Because
for
when they
comedy.
told me when they were going to remove, I wouldn't have a belly button. I legit said, "Can I save it? Can I have it?" And then I would dry it out and make a leather wallet. And he just stopped.
Here
and
you have a
looked at
big
me.
fucking belly button to turn it into a wallet.
Whatever. Maybe it'd be a coin purse. I don't know. But
It would be like a button cover. It's a button.
and he just stopped, and then he just like, well, no, we have to send it out. We have to take all the human tissue and send it to be like this. I was like, I'm just joking. And then the other one too was like when they're doing the surgery, and they said like you're gonna open your, we're gonna slice open your stomach muscle into an Asian fan. I was like, that's racist. No, I didn't say that. And then they're gonna put cow tissue over it, and then like the cow tissue, and they're like, we got to make sure your stomach doesn't turn blue or gray. And I was like, yeah, I hope so. That's probably not good. But what I said was like, if I eat a burger after that, am I going to be a cannibal? And he just stopped and looked at me, said nothing, and then just started talking about something else.
Your delivery is pretty dry. I wonder if he thought you were being genuine.
Yeah, well, that's I got to try to humor myself, if nothing else. Yeah, that or just go insane. Yeah, I don't know what the hell we've been talking about now.
I have no idea, to be honest. We were talking about
Our bride.
The Bride. So I think it could be very interesting to do The Bride. Well, I never saw Wicked. I never read Wicked. But from what I understand, they ended up doing it from the witch's world. And I'm wondering if they could do that. Because we don't really have any backstory to Bride, right? There's no like, here's where this body came from. It's just
right. In the story, I think there is, right?
Yeah.
I don't think in the movie there is. But the only issue I have is if you make The Bride as its own movie, not a sequel to Frankenstein, it is a little odd. Like, I know people already know the story.
Movie, it doesn't have to be about Frankenstein. It could be, here's her life.
Bride.
Yeah, like here's her life as a living being. Maybe there's this, and
maybe she does. And they could make her the bride for the doctor. Just saying, if they make her the bride for the existing Frankenstein's monster, it's a little odd.
Yeah. So here's a thought. Not that they're gonna like write it. So a thought is, if we're working our way backwards, right? So she ends up being a dead person who's offered to Frankenstein. So the doctor specifically chose her to be the wife. So when you step back from that, is what is the process? Did he try to hunt a dead body, or did he target someone and kill her so that she would become the bride? There's the whole time in between when she is now like, so you have when she actually meets Frankenstein, and then what's the part up to that? Because she's alive before that, right? So then you've got this whole backstory of maybe he's like chasing her the whole time or stalking her, and then what's
that's why
before then.
That's why it's a good one to redo, to do a new version of, because, like I said, such a minor character, really in her own movie, named after her. There's, like you said, you could do a whole backstory. You can make her the focal point of the movie.
I think that.
Now that I think about it, I don't think there is a backstory to her even in the novel.
I think my movie sounds pretty good.
She's really like dehumanized in the story, I believe.
Yeah, so let's give her a story, and it could be dark, and who knows what's going on in her life. Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, and then Dr. Frankenstein comes in and creates trouble. Maybe he is stalking different women the whole time, trying to find who's the right bride. Maybe there's been multiple attempts at making a bride. Just like, there's failures, right? You have an experiment, it fails, and then you keep going until you get it.
Now that I think about it,
my brain is just it's alive with ideas.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, you can still have the Frankenstein monster. You would kind of reverse the movie where it's all about her, and then the reveal is this is who you were created for, and that's when you first see Frankenstein's monster, which actually would be pretty horrific in itself.
I think that would be like the peak of horror is when she does meet him, and to show it from her point of view, he is terrifying. So can we have him through her eyes and tell the
because
story
in the original movie you feel
scary thing.
You feel sympathy for him. You feel sympathy for both of them, but you're with the monster for 2 movies, so you feel sympathy for him. He's gonna have companionship, and then she sees him and is horrified. And there's neither of them are the villain there, but as you said, you could see it through her eyes. Why, like I've been created, and now I'm given to this in her mind, this thing.
Worse in my brain. It all depends on how far they want to go, how dark they want to get. That could get really fucking dark. I love it. I want to work on it. I want to bring my ideas. Anyone ever wants ideas? I've got a lot of ideas. They just zip out of my head and they're gone for eternity. I love it.
Michelle Michaels, by the way, was going to be on next week. She's not at home. She was evacuated because of wildfires. So she wants to come on later in February. So, of course, and we hope her and her family are safe.
Wow. What's going on with those fires now?
Yeah, it's just the winds. Let's keep carrying them.
What's happening? Jesus Christ. Well, everybody out there and your loved ones, and I can only imagine. I cannot. How terrifying. Well, I hope everybody will stay safe. Maybe you have to evacuate. I hope everybody stays safe.
Yeah, I know a Locat too. He went. I think he's back at his home now. But all right.
Well, so on something else before we're like, well, sadness. I mean, it is sad, and it's okay to have reality. And maybe we can bounce back. And tomorrow, Round the Decay. Do we want to share with everybody what we're actually doing tomorrow? Why we're not doing that Thursday show?
Yeah, I don't think it's a public screening, so people can't go get tickets. But
but that weekend they're playing it.
They're doing some midnight screenings at Coolidge after midnight.
Yeah.
But Annabelle, me, and Troy will be. I believe it's a cast and crew screening, and we were invited for Round the Decay. That's going to be a great time.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, we'll get to meet Adam Newman for the first time.
We had them on. It's been a while now since we first had him on.
Yeah. He's been on several times since then. He's called in. He's been a guest several times. He's in the chat almost every week. Just an all-around good guy.
Yep. Lovely New England filmmaker.
Mm-hmm.
And
offered some help on Arbor Day.
Oh, very cool. This film apparently was filmed in the New Hampshire, like old mine shafts or something like that. And they filmed it in April. I'm really glad I'm present for your Arbor Day experience, so pay attention to the weather. Because you're like, talking about we're doing all these crazy times like October. I'm like, dude, no.
So how does May 1st through the 11th sound?
I already said. I looked at it. It said it has to be.
Well, I mean, this specific date just came up actually while we were doing the live shows.
Oh, well, it would probably be from this to this.
Yeah.
It would probably be ideal because we wanted to have it before, was it Labor Day?
Yeah, no, it'll be perfect. And it'll be right after Funk. So it works out for everyone involved. And I don't know if I mentioned this, but our pal, our friend, our good friend, the very talented AJ Cutler will be editing Arbor Day.
Excellent. Will he be in attendance, or will he have?
Yeah, he'll be there. Maybe not the whole thing, but he'll be there for a little bit anyway.
Nice.
So we have to get him involved in some capacity, and so he's going to bring Bill actually down for a little bit. And,
nice. Will Bill be able to film any like of his scenes?
Yeah, we're gonna film Bill scenes for Arbor Day while we're either doing funk or during this whole
It's gonna be like a
yeah. So it'll work out. It'll be cool.
Julio.
Yeah. So he also offered to cut the trailer, which is very cool.
Wow.
So actually, right now the trailer is hidden at the moment. So I don't know if we might do a new one or something. But
a new one. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when we did it, it was a much smaller thing. But now that there's a lot more people involved, and it's going to be shot on higher quality things and stuff.
Yes, it'll be great.
Yeah.
So, I feel like there's something else to bring up, but maybe not.
So yeah, tomorrow we won't be live here. We're going to be at a screening. It'll be cool. Me, Annabelle, and Troy will be there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Saturday, we're going to be doing a Klaus. Klaus the satanic primate.
That's it. I just saw this.
The devil's primate. Klaus the devil's primate. We're going to be doing a live screening of the feature film.
Oh my God.
And then we're going to do a live Q&A with the director.
I will be unavailable.
Oh, man.
Basically the entire weekend. Yeah.
Right.
The nephew will be around.
Okay. We got to do it. We got to do it earlier because I believe he's in Scotland or something. Yeah.
Oh, really? It's going to be a Saturday? This Saturday?
This Saturday.
Yeah. Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it will be a great time. That title alone has me fascinated.
Yeah. I have a quick little video here if you want to see it. It's only like a minute. Yeah. And then next Sunday will be Severed Limbs. Originally it was going to be this Sunday, but we moved it because we're doing table reading of Our Man Funk this Sunday. Let me grab this. But yeah, so next Sunday, Severed Limbs. Next week, we'll give you guys the entire rundown of all the Severed Limbs movies. I'm trying to find my here it is.
Well, it's about that time for Go and Slam. Tell me when the movie starts here. About that hour, not gonna cower with my eyes so full of fear. Oh, it's time for decapitation, blood and guts and sin. Oh, Saturday night's alright for Friday, get a little horror in. Oh, it's time for decapitation, blood and guts and sin. Oh, Saturday night's alright for Friday, get a little horror in. 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 Oh, it's time for decapitation, blood and guts and sin. Oh, Saturday night's alright for Friday, get a little horror in. Oh, Saturday night's alright for Friday, get a little horror in. Saturday night's alright for Friday, get a little horror in.
Hell yeah, Klaus the devil's primate.
Excellent.
It's gonna be a good time.
Where are people going to be able to find this experience?
That'll be on the Without Your Head Twitch page. So there'll be a link on the main website, Without Your Head. I would do it off YouTube, but YouTube sometimes says, no, naughty. And then they make me do like, I've done multiple different,
Multiple? They're still letting you do it.
Yeah, so I had to take the nudity course, and then recently, actually, it was a few months ago, I had to take the hate speech course.
Whoa, dude! I don't remember hearing about this. What happened?
Over a trailer we played here on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Scarecrows versus the Third Reich, or Scarecrows of the Third Reich. A movie about scarecrows fighting World War II Nazis, and YouTube was like, this is hate speech. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And so people like, well, you won't get a real person. So, but how you do get a real person if you go to Twitter. And so I did, and I actually got a real person.
Wow.
And I explained it all. And they're like, we'll resubmit it here and explain it. I was like, oh, wow, this will work out. Explained it all. A couple days go by. This is not the answer you wanted, but this stands. This is hate speech. I'm like, you've got to be in. I was like, this is just insane. Like, and so we're currently under a hate speech warning, but it doesn't, since I took the course and I passed. It does actually go away February 7th. So we're under warning till then. After that, we'll no longer be hate mongers.
Now, I remember when you had the nudie one of inappropriate graphical, sexual whatevers. It was foolish. Like, you described what it was like to me. And it was completely foolish.
Yeah, it was like some of the dumbest questions I ever heard. This one was, it was pretty like basic stuff that, but again, they don't even go by their own rules, because it's like you can show like stuff if it's part of a documentary or if it's part of art. Okay. And I was like, okay, well, this is a fictional movie. It's clearly not real. Nope. I was like, okay.
Oh my goodness. I don't know. Well, you passed, so
I did.
Did they grade you? Do you get like a rank?
Well, the thing is, if you get one wrong, you just keep answering it till you're right. So I don't know how you'd ever pass. I mean, I don't know how you'd ever fail. So
interesting.
That's how that was the nudity one.
Yes.
When I did the nudity one, it was like Billy, like, it was so weird. I'd have to find, it was like Billy, he like takes a leak in like the snow, and he says like he thinks it's so hot when, like, he was about making like some girl eat this snow that he peed in, and it's so hot, and like, is this allowed? And I was like, no, and you had to answer why, and I was like, no, you can't urinate, and like, no, that is incorrect. You can urinate on YouTube as long as it's educational or art, but you still can't do this because it's sexualized urination. Just like, come on, fucking stupid ass thing. And I would like someone to put that to the test. Put out a video of you urinating even not someone eating, you urinating, and say, oh, this is educational YouTube, it's fine. You're gonna kick it off YouTube. There's no way they're gonna allow that.
What if let's say this now, no one's got enough of a urine stream to do the whole alphabet, so let's say one by one, and then you just put them together.
Right.
You're not showing the ween. You're just
like the ABCs of death, but it's the ABCs of urine.
Yeah.
Get like a famous like an indie director to do each letter.
Yes. Oh my God, this is a whole new thing. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
I love it. Kind of. I'm not sure I do, but it's funny.
And then to see this is art and see what happened.
You go down some random trail where no one's going to be, and different places you can make your mark. Sometimes maybe it'll be on a wall. Sometimes maybe
it doesn't show up if you just like pee on a wall. I mean, let's do it like it's not like
it's
why
wet.
don't just stain the wall? I guess I see like you see the wetness.
You're showing the urine happening.
I thought you thought it was like the alien. It's gonna I like pee like acid or something. It's gonna
you're gonna have it so that the private bits aren't shown. You just see the urine happening and making an A. And then making a B.
Do the aliens pee acid? That could have been a scene in an alien movie. Like the aliens run and he just like stops and like lifts his leg like a dog and like it eats a hole through the spaceship.
Do they eat though? They don't eat.
And they don't drink either.
Yeah.
Not,
yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they're perfect organisms. Yeah.
That's true. So maybe they just don't make feces and they don't do any of that. They just have like a car. They're like a car. They have like a system with coolant and it just goes around and around and around and around and around and around.
Maybe.
I don't know. Although sometimes you need to change things in cars.
Yeah.
What is like the natural lifespan
Of an alien?
actual born alien, not the like ones that are in the egg for a bajillion years?
Yeah, I don't know if they've ever said, because they grow up so quick. You would think they probably don't live that long.
But like, so
But
then
there's-
I think it's like a bug, and then like a lobster they don't even know how long a lobster can live because they live like hundreds of years.
Yeah, because I remember when I was a kid reading about like Native Americans used to get these giant lobsters that were like as big as like a horse or like a dog.
What?
Yeah, because no one was eating them, and they would go down. They'd probably be like super old, and then they'd roast over the fire and like feed everybody.
That's
Yeah,
sounds disgusting, but they're bugs. I don't know. It freaks me out. I have to really like force myself to not think about
that
it.
would be creepy if you were down if you were in like scuba. I don't know if scuba goes through whatever. You build your own. Well, don't do this because it didn't work out good for that guy. Those people that built their own. Anyway, somehow you're down under the sea and you see like 1,000-foot lobster just sitting around.
I wanna find out how big were lobsters. I think that's probably going to be in the past.
Yeah, because now everyone just gets them and eats them before they get too old.
Larger, some were even human size. Lobsters were plentiful and could grow up to 4 feet long. Colonists could catch them, and I would have to imagine, like you said, probably Native Americans got them first.
Yeah, that's what I used to read.
That's so nasty.
They used to give them to prisoners. They used to make prisoners eat them.
Yeah, it was like the junk. Because
Yeah.
they eat garbage. They're a bottom crawler, bottom feeder.
How did they eat? Did they boil them and like give them shell crackers? Like, I'm just wondering how the prisoners even ate them.
Oh.
Like, where the hell's my drawn butter?
They'd probably just be like, good luck with that.
Just give them a raw lobster.
Yeah. Well, maybe they cook them and just be like, figure it out.
Yeah.
They give them a rock.
It's like Charlie Brown on Halloween.
Yeah. Except you want the rock to eat your lobster, rock lobster.
Right.
That's where that comes from, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
44, the largest one on record is 44 pounds.
Holy shit.
Jesus Christ. It is like a dog. A smaller dog, but
Yeah.
holy crap. Pass.
I've always heard the up to a certain point,
Mhm.
they're not as sweet anymore. Like if you get the real big ass lobsters.
I mean, I guess you could. Well,
Just think of the friggin' lobster roll you can make with that.
would you make like one giant one?
I mean, I think it's honestly, I think it's kind of a waste of lobster to make a lobster roll. I just like just the straight up lobster or big stuffed lobsters.
You don't like a lobster roll?
They're fine, but
I
I'd rather just have the lobster meat, honestly.
I completely lost. I have
My mom's a big fan of lobster rolls.
Lobster rolls are great. That's really interesting to me as a fellow New Englander. They're the big chunks. Maybe if it's too mayonnaisey, I could see that.
Yeah, my mom doesn't like them if they put all like the little pieces in, and she likes it with like lobster tail stuff. But not many places do that anymore.
Chunks. What?
No, a lot of places when you get them now, it's just like.
Well, you're getting them from the wrong places. That's all I gotta say. My lobster rolls be incredible. Clam Box, Ipswich, Massachusetts. Toot Clam Box. So fucking good.
I had salmon tonight, but here's look at me with the lobster.
Oh my god, you're like a different human. You don't look like you. You look like you're related to you. Show that again. That was real strange.
I had longer hair then. I was all excited.
You look like a creeper. You do. You look like a creeper. Yep.
So I look better now?
You're gonna be like crawling up to people and like, hey, baby. Jonathan Jackson is over here. Hey, Jonathan Jackson.
Jonathan Jackson! That's how I like to say his name. He's a good man, Jonathan
He
Jackson.
seems like an all right guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
Good, funny Facebook posts.
Yeah, I like that guy. He's going places.
Where? Here?
Hey, where are you going? I'm going to Thompson's Clam Bar because that's where the tastiest clams are. Seafood good, best by far. Well, let's go to Thompson's Clam Bar. I'm a big fan of local jingles.
I don't know of any.
It's the heart of the Cape Cod Mall. That one was always so weird because it was like, who's that appealing to? Like, who hears that? Like, hey, let's go rush down to the Cape Cod Mall.
Someone was paid to write that. Someone was paid to sing it, direct it, all the things. Good for them.
Exactly.
Good for them.
So this is baked stuffed lobster from my buddy Chef George, who's letting us actually film our part of Arbor Day. His baked stuffed lobster, which is tremendous. Boom. That's good. That's good. Huh?
Want to, but then I'm just like, that's a giant bug. Look at it, it's a giant bug.
Well, look. If I took it. If I saw it, like if I knew like a bug crawling across my computer tastes as good as a lobster, I might pick it up and eat it. Why not?
You just be putting it in boiling water. You just take a whole bunch of roaches and toss them in a pot of boiling water.
I looked up a lobster. This is I'm finding these. These are different pictures I've taken of lobster meals over the years.
You have them like set up for this?
No. So this is what you do. You can put in whatever. I put in lobster photos posted by me, and then boom, it comes up everything I've ever posted the lobster. This is how I look up stuff. And this was one of the weirder things I got from JD's Burgers and sushi place, which is a good place in town. And it was a surf and turf burger. It was a burger with lobster meat and bacon on top of it. I'm not really sure how I felt about that one, to be honest.
That meal looked good.
Oh yeah, they have great burgers.
Combination. I'd probably just flick out the lobster and eat it separate.
Yeah.
Yeah, lobster. It does taste good.
Yeah, it's good.
Bugs.
Lobster seafood Fra Diablo, also from Chef George.
I do like Fra Diablo.
Yeah.
One of my restaurants, we used to make it. It was very good. Very, very good.
Oh, and this is sad. Scott Marlowe replied to this picture of this Fra Diablo, who passed away during COVID.
Yeah, that's right. Wow.
Multiple time guest on the show. Good dude. He came up recently on the show.
Really?
Yeah, I think someone was asking about him in the chat.
Oh, wow.
Jackson says hello.
I saw that. Hello.
So yeah, Adam just asked. I told him we're all three of us are coming. He says, "Awesome, pumped to hear it."
It's going to be great. I'm really excited Troy's going.
Me too. Cool. Yeah. It'd be really fun.
Are you going to spiff up or are you just going to be a person? I have to bring my change to work.
I don't. I don't think I wasn't planning on like really dressing up or nothing.
What are you gonna wear?
Well, I'm gonna wear my long jacket, which is kind of fancy anyway. So I was planning on bringing a backpack because I didn't plan on really bringing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could wear like a button shirt and stuff underneath.
You don't have to. I'm not like dress up.
No,
there.
I mean, I'll probably wear like a flannel shirt. Honestly,
There we go.
pretty laid
You gotta
back.
figure out- Yeah, 7:30.
Yeah, that's when we're supposed to be there.
Supposed to be there, or it starts.
That's when he wanted us to be there.
Okay. I'm already getting hungry thinking about you guys being able to eat without me, which I don't blame you. You can't just wait around and hope that I'm going to be
Yeah,
here.
I mean, we'd always probably be up for a snack or something too if you get there in time. And yeah,
What time are you going to get there?
I'm not sure.
one wants to hear.
And I don't know how long everything is, if we have time to do something after or whatever, but we'll figure it out. But I know you can't stay up real late either.
Well, we'll see.
We're
See what happens,
Troy and I are driving up to and we're taking the T into the city, so it's not like we have to get back at a certain time or anything.
But you do.
Yeah, but it's like 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's pretty late.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. All right. So it sounds like it'll be a great time. And all people out there. So is that going to be around other places in the country at Small?
Yeah. So what you do is you go and you order your ticket. You get a voucher, and it's good for any place they play it. And the more they pre-sell, the more places it's going to play. And as an incentive, you also get the virtual download. So you're helping the movie, then you get to see it at your leisure.
So this is round the decay, which is a pretty cool title.
Yes. Yeah, it's off a poem.
Is it? I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that till one of the interviews. So I gotta go read the poem.
Will Melody be there?
No.
Ah. Once we find out Mayor McCheese is public domain, you're getting the tattoo.
Hell yeah. I think we should all get matching Arbor Day tattoos.
Like Lord of the Rings.
Exactly. Lord of the Arbor.
I got other things to tattoo in advance. I got to be covering my old junk tattoo.
Yeah, with the Arbor Day tattoo. Or just a brand. I'll get a branding iron made and just brand everything.
You. I have experience with metalworking.
All right.
Do that.
I took metalworking.
Honestly,
in high
even
school.
if you just get like a coat hanger and you bend it,
like a friggin' prison brand.
Yeah, man. If need be, you can
Like in Oz, when they branded Beecher's ass with a swastika. Jesus.
Did they do it with a coat hanger?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know if
could
you
do
want to
some
be-
real cool thing with a coat hanger. An artiste like Troy or myself could probably make a cool coat hanger art, and then you just roast it up and boop. What's the difference? A brand is a brand. It's a piece of metal.
Heat it up with a Bic lighter.
You could, but the heat would die down pretty fast. But I have a heat gun, and that would do it. Because that heat would go through and it'd last. But you know what? If it didn't come through right, could always try it again. Let's do it a couple times.
All right. That'll work.
All right. So Neil's getting branded. That's what we
branded a fool. What will they think?
Is that a song?
Tomorrow at school. Yeah, it's from Grease.
Oh. You know what? I still don't think I've ever seen Grease. But I did see Dirty Dancing, and that was really good.
It's one of my mom's favorites.
It's a good movie. when I was a kid, I'm like, Dirty Dancing, gross. Everything was gross. Like, oh, gross. And then I was just like, that sounds stupid, Dirty Dan. That sounds dumb.
But yeah, it's about this town. They're outlawing dancing and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I had a boss who was very protective of me at this job. She was lovely.
You know, put Annabelle in the corner.
Yeah, she said that, and I was like, and I didn't actually. I knew what it was from, so all right, now I have to know. And I was pleasantly surprised.
Me and Ed Gonzalez actually at one of the Days of the Dead, we sing the duet of the theme song from their Dirty Dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one is that? Time of My Life song?
Yeah. We did the duet, Time of My
When
Life.
you like, that used to be the roller skating song. Did you have a roller skating place near you?
No, we have an ice skating rink not far from me, but no, not a roller skate.
Not even as a kid? There was no roller skating?
No.
That kind of went away, roller skating places, which is so sad.
Yeah, well, I have an ice hockey rink not that far from me. I saw some wrestling shows there. But...
So could you just go ice skating?
Yeah, you could. I never went, but you could, yeah.
Does the public have that option?
Yeah.
Huh. Sounds terrible. I've never ice skated ever.
I didn't either. I mean, people used to at the duck pond a lot too near me. The duck pond, they would go ice skiing, but I don't know if I guess it freezes, but it doesn't. It's not like it used to be where it'd be frozen. You know, most of the winter you could go ice skiing.
No, now it's just freezing, and things probably haven't frozen through this entire winter until today. -5.
Yeah, it's cold, but yeah, hopefully it's not too bad tomorrow.
Good God. I have to look into that. Right now it is 10 degrees. 10 degrees.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's cold. So next week, originally was going to be Michelle and the Abinette Bradleys, but so next week it will just be the Abinette Bradleys. So, and then Michelle will have sometime in February by herself. So that'll work out good. I'll let them know they can come on a little earlier if they would like, however they want to work it out.
Mm-hmm. How earlier would early be?
I mean, like 8, because originally she was the first guest, and then I think I had them at 9:30. So, you know, whatever they want to do.
Got you. I feel you. I get what you're saying. Well, now that we've been talking about the weather,
go and get this.
What is that? DVD?
The Once and Future Blu-ray? Smash and End Zone 2 double disc Blu-ray.
You punch the camera again. I want to see it. All right. Okay.
It's hard to do this way just because I'm going to hit my microphone. So it's usually just the right hand.
You have practiced that for like years now.
Huh?
You have practiced.
My brother taught me how to box when I was a little kid.
Really? No shit.
Yeah. And I gave him a bloody nose when I was like 5. Mm-hmm.
How much taller was he than you? You like jumped up and hit him in the face.
I hit him in. We had boxing gloves, and I think we just had one. Maybe we had 2 pair. I don't know. We either had 1 pair and I just wore them, or maybe we had 2 pair. But he taught me how to box when I was a little kid, and I punched him in the nose and gave him a bloody nose.
Do you think
now he says because he was doing a lot of cocaine?
Or is he just older than you and guided you?
Because
I could be like, when my nephew
he wasn't punching me back because if I was like 5, he would have been 14. Like he would, that wouldn't have been very fair if he's hitting me.
No, but did he actually know how to really box?
Oh, I don't know. Probably just messing around. I think maybe our uncle showed him. I don't know.
Oh, boxing is passed down through the generations.
Yeah, we had boxing gloves for whatever reasons. Our uncle knew how to do a little bit of everything. I wish I would have remembered a lot of it because he taught me how to, both of us, how to make a bow. Like, it was really cool. Bow and arrow. Like, would go get a branch, and then like it was somehow because you'd want to bend it back a little bit, and then I think it was with fishing wire. I don't know what we used for the. I think it was fishing wire, and then he showed us how to like make arrows. Out of limbs, out of branches. I really wish I would have remembered all this stuff.
Yeah.
How to tie a noose. I don't
You
know
don't
if
know
I
how to
should
tie
know
a
that.
noose?
He remember how he taught me. I probably could just look that up on YouTube. But
Yeah, I do know how to tie a noose.
a slip knot, which I know how to do that still. Yeah, no, he just knew a little bit of everything.
Hmm.
Cool. I remember we used to. I never hear anyone doing this anymore. But even when I was a kid, we actually found a few Indian arrowheads. Native American arrowheads.
They've probably all been found at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like we found a few when I was a kid, and my uncle and my mom and stuff said they used to find them all the time, like when they were kids. So yeah, we didn't find a lot. I remember we found like 3 or something, but they said they used to find them all the time. But yeah, they're probably just all like completely found at this point.
I had a relationship, and his brother, who I am still friends with. One day I went over to his place. I wasn't with the guy anymore, but I was still friendly with this person and this guy. And his wife had this nice little townhouse. And in the basement, he's like, "You have to see my arrowhead collection." All right, cool. And we go down there, and it's like bins and bins and bins and bins. And he's like showing them to me, and he's really excited. They were just fucking rocks. We're so just rocks, and they really were bins and bins and bins and bins. I love Don. He's a special man.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
Man, he goes swimming in the fucking ocean in Salem year round.
Oh, so he's one of those guys. He have a.
He's not doing
like
a plunge. He's swimming. He's not plunging for a moment. Like, I'm going to do this for charity. He just did it. He's nuts.
The one time when I was doing that, I actually punched the camera, like legit hit it and knocked it off, and I felt like a complete idiot. But whatever. It didn't break it anyway.
I mean, I guess. Good job. You hit the target.
No, you're trying not to hit it. Like you want to get as close as possible, not hit it, not actually punch your camera. That's how I open most of the wrestling show. While Inch is doing his spiel, I start punching the camera. Then I'm all blown up because it's like 5 minutes long.
So you like exercised this arm and this?
Yeah, just this one arm.
Yeah,
that makes it sound perverted. Like this arm, I get a lot of workout in.
Mm-hmm.
I have the
camera, man.
I have the grip things. I don't have them down here. I have them down here sometimes. The grip things. I use them a lot when I'm on the computer to strengthen my grip. There
Kung Fu grip.
I won't say who. There's was a couple two, but one of them in particular, a female fan of the show is always very infatuated by my thick fingers, which I was like, whoa, I don't know what's going on here.
You can't say?
Gina Bobina out there, yeah.
Is she okay with you sharing?
Yeah,
that?
she says that when I used to be in the on the Dabbleverse show, she would just say it in the chats.
So far,
I
don't think anybody has. No, but I did have someone comment on my thumbs because I have apparently like a very long thumbs.
Yeah, I don't have particularly long fingers, but they're very thick.
I do have a long thumb. And can you do this? Is so dumb. I don't know what we're doing anymore. Can you touch your thumb to your no? I don't know if I can do this side.
I can't straighten this finger out anymore.
At all?
Mm-mm.
Did it happen for a reason, or were you one of these people that could always like do it?
Yeah, I could always do that. Then all of a sudden one day I could never just straighten it out.
Hit it.
It doesn't hurt or anything.
Whack it with a book.
I've tried all kinds of stuff. Won't do nothing.
You tried hitting it?
Yeah, I tried to do all this stuff. It's been like almost a year now. It doesn't hurt. So, but I told my doctor, she seems the same thing. But no matter what I tell her, who cares, whatever. But I got a new doctor that I'll be going to this year, so maybe they'll actually. I mean, she said the same thing about stuff that like when I had these crazy veins in my legs, and she just thought it was a vein, not
Vein
vein
about
as a
those
vein.
veins.
Yeah, and then when I went to see during, I think it was like right around, it was during COVID, I think.
Mhm.
No, it was pre-COVID maybe, but anyway, I couldn't see her for some reason, so I saw the nurse practitioner, and as soon as she saw him, she's like, "You got to go get these looked at," and so I went to the what do they call them? It's it's not a vein doctor, but
The vein doctor. Let's go with that.
yeah, it begins with a V. But anyway, they're like, "Oh yeah, these are bad."
Vascular.
Yeah, yes, the vascular.
Ah, I got
And
it.
they're like, "Oh, this is bad. That means that when the veins do this, they're actually going they're pushing the blood the wrong direction." I was like, "Oh, that doesn't sound too good," which can lead to blood clots, which can lead
my
to like all heart issues and all this stuff. And so what they did was they're like, they all go to this main vein up here. So we're gonna go
Yeah,
up.
your leg.
I know, but I'm not gonna put my leg up here. So it's like branches. So like in theory, they go up, they all connect to this one vein. We're gonna go in here and kill this vein, and then
Wow.
and so they did, and so at first they started numbing me up. Like, I can feel this. Like, okay, let's give you some more Novocaine. And so they put a thing up there, and they burned it shot. And they're like, all right, now.
Back to me.
Yeah, so then I waited a while, and nothing happened at all. Nothing changed whatsoever. It's like, well, now the next step is we actually have to remove all these veins, because she said there are actually extra veins, which I don't know why you have these extra. But anyway, they didn't put the local anesthetic, so it was dozy, but like I was awake, and it was just straight up Hellraiser. They had these little tiny hooks, little metal hooks, and they just put literally hundreds of little cuts on it, very little, and they would pull out the veins with this long.
Fuck.
And I was awake, so I could see it, and it was fucking weird as fuck.
Was it an option to not be awake?
No, because maybe it could have been, but they
You know what they should do to people? You know how dogs have a cone so they can't chew themselves? They should do that so you just can't see.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you try to look, you can't. That's my thought. I wouldn't want to see. I mean, it's interesting. Like if someone recorded it, I'd watch it. But I don't.
Yeah, but when you're sitting there and it's your own leg, it's friggin' weird. So this is what the leg looked like before.
Wow.
Very weird.
Oh, dude, what?
It's like alien leg.
Wow.
And
oh my
this
God.
was right after.
Ooh, Jesus Christ.
And then boom!
What? Wow.
After it healed up.
Bang. Look at that picture of health.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Right after they did it too, which was weird. I got floaters in my eyes, and I thought it must have just been a coincidence, because they're there's no way this could be connected to anything. So they've gone away though since then. Maybe I just noticed them, but it was weird.
I'm glad they cleared up for you.
Yeah,
I'm glad you have a healthy less veins.
Yeah, I mean,
either could you?
I used to not wear. I used to not
jar.
I used to not wear. There was a few after I lost weight is when you could see all these things in my legs, and so then I couldn't wear shorts because I guess I could, but I didn't like and then I also had to wear the socks, the compression socks. That was supposed to help too, but it didn't do anything. But yeah, last few years I'd be able to just wear shorts and not worry about it, so that's cool. Yeah, here's another picture. It's very weird.
Oh my God, man! Did you ever touch them?
Yeah, it's a style. There was weird. And then boom, after that, all good.
Amazing. You got a wide foot.
Yeah, I have wide appendages out there if anyone's interested.
Just have like bricks at the end of your arm.
No, I wear extra wide shoes actually. Not just wide, extra wide.
Damn, I have wide feet.
New Balance has a lot of extra wide. Whatever. There's a weird it's not called extra wide, but that's what they are.
They do not really make a lot of wide shoes for females, unfortunately. But
yeah, New
alas,
Balance.
that's the
Boom.
price to pay.
That's some New Balance here.
Wow,
That's my favorite brand.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, when I was in physical rehab, that's what my favorite physical rehabber. I don't know.
Is that the Brazilian guy?
Yeah. That's what he told me. New Balance. So that's what I want ever since.
New Balance.
Mm-hmm.
Get advertising dollars off of that.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. What the
So
hell?
we covered all the world of horror
Jesus
tonight.
Christ. Yeah. Okay. Something like that. But the beginning of the show was great. That was a great interview. So if you're here now and you didn't see the beginning, definitely go back.
Yeah. But you're probably enjoying all this too, I bet.
Hopefully.
Yeah. But we'll be back next week at our regular time. There may be some interviews popping up before then. I don't know. What was that?
Do you think we'll film anything live tomorrow?
I don't know. I didn't want to really bring my tripod, but I mean, we could probably still film without it. Yeah, we'll be fine. You know what I mean? I just didn't really want to bring my backpack unless I had to.
No, I don't blame you. That's big.
Yeah. So I don't think we would need it. Like you said, one of us could hold it, or we could, if we were somewhere, we could just put it on the table. We'll figure it out. Oh yeah, that was
Do you remember?
It was the movie with the guy's dead now, but
he is.
That really narrows it down out there.
I can't remember. Yog Sothoth.
Yeah, what is the movie?
Dunwich Horror.
Dunwich Horror.
Yeah.
We haven't been there for a while. We haven't been to Dunwich Horror. No, we haven't been to Charlie's for a while.
Man, I miss that pineapple burger.
Yeah, that's true. I don't even know what they. Oh, we'll probably that's probably coming up not too long. Is Buffalo.
Oh, that one at Harvard. Boston Underground Film Festival.
Yeah. There are a lot of great festivals, aren't there?
There are. We've got actually our good friend James Lamond has the festival in February.
Yeah, it's 2 days this time.
Mm-hmm.
Last year was one.
Dead of Winter, which Izzy said Dead of Winter, and I was, but I didn't use it as a
I
time.
thought the same thing. Yeah.
Dead of Winter is at Mechanics Hall in Worcester. Oh, I just had it. The 20. So if you're in the Massachusetts travelable area, it was great. It's all New England filmmakers, shorts, features. The place is beautiful. There's going to be guests this year. I know Torgal's one of them, Mark Torgal.
Yeah, it's actually it's the whole reunion of Toxic Avenger.
Oh, no shit. Very cool. So that alone, did you find it?
No, I found I was actually looked up Charlie's. They actually have a lot of different stuff on the menu now.
Well, does any of it have pineapple?
That's what I'm looking. They have a mahi mahi tacos with pineapple. I don't know if it doesn't even have pineapple. I thought it would. According to this, they do have the Hawaiian burger back at Charlie's.
Stop it!
It's a double cheeseburger. It's slightly different. Sweet soy, grilled pineapple, and caramelized onion.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
And they also have nacho fries now.
Really? Because they listen to us.
Yeah.
They write a review about, this is great, but I really miss. We bring it up anytime we talk
I
about
know.
Charlie. Every time it comes up.
Dead of Winter horror film.
James Lamont.
She won't let
Where is it, man? Dead of Winter.
February 23rd, 22nd, and 23rd.
Yes. Excellent. Mechanics Hall tickets. Deadofwinterentertainment.com/store. It was great. I really enjoyed it. The first year was last year, and I think it's going to blossom fast, very fast. So get out there in its early stages and check it out.
Yeah, I believe they've got they have feature films this time and shorts. It's gonna be a sweet event.
It will be sweet. I hope we can go.
Yeah.
I
I know
support.
yeah. We're gonna have Mark Torgo back on before that too, so we'll figure that out.
Excellent. Cool. Well,
Maybe some other people. I think he's the only guy besides Lloyd that we've ever had on from Toxic Avenger.
Perhaps.
Oh, that was big news. The
Yeah.
new Toxic Avenger. I know there for a while everyone was saying, "Oh, they're burying it for tax write-off. It's never going to come out." It's and I was like, "Well, that makes sense." They announced today it's coming out. Someone picked it up, and it's gonna get a theatrical release.
Whoa, really? I haven't seen it.
Which is good because one of our pals who always pops up in the chat, Darth Vader himself, he plays. He's in it. So, and he told me when it comes out that he would come back on the show. So.
Cool. Excellent. Got it's the year's starting out with a lot of garbage and with some good things.
Yeah, Melanie Kinnaman will be back on this year because it's the 40th anniversary of Friday the 13th Part 5, so that'll be cool.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about Once and Future Smash, which she's in. So good time.
There's a lot of stuff that's going to be happening. I feel it in my bones of actually good things, not just shit.
Yes.
I don't mean shit of our show. I mean shit of the world.
I understand. I think most people understand.
Okay. So, time to go. I gotta sleep, man.
All right, let's get out of here. We had a good time. We will talk to you soon. Until next time, this is Nasty Neil.
This is Annabelle Lecter.
And this is Without
Your Head.
Nah.